What's good, guys? It's your boy Bobble Gaming coming at you again with another Yu-Gi-Oh deck discussion, and today's topic is going to be on wind-ups and whether they can be competitively viable coming into the format next year in 2018 with their release of their brand new Link monster, Wind-Up Maintenance Zenmaicon. Now, if you don't already know what this guy does, he has three main effects. His first effect being that when he's linked summon, you get to add one wind-up card from your deck to your hand. Its second effect being able to banish a wind-up monster you control to special summon one monster with the same name from your deck. And its final effect being that when it's destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you get to target a wind-up Xyz monster you control and attach it as and then attach this card as a material to that Xyz monster. Of course, that effect being the worst, but 1 and 2 being really powerful, being able to trigger off your wind-up factories and your wind-up magicians, being able to get multiple searches in one turn, being able to really just grind out your deck, really just grab everything you need. But yeah. So, the reason why I want to talk about this is because, who knows, wind-ups can potentially become meta again, because just keep in mind, in the OCG, their wind-up decks are completely different from ours, considering that they have Wind-Up Hunter banned, they have Magician at free, and that they still have wind-up, the wind-up carrier dude, you know, the rank 3 one, the broken one, the one that's banned for us. But yeah. So yeah, again, that just shows again that us and the OCG are very different, and you know, of course, this deck having the capability to run lots of hand traps, because it kind of has a trickstar kind of thing going on, where there's going to be lots of trickstar monsters, but it's only going to be a handful that are actually really good. And in this case, it is of course Magician, Rabbit, Rat, Shark, and Warrior. Now, the main reason we're playing Warrior is, of course, we are playing the Predplan engine with the Lone Fires, the Orpheus Scorpios, and Dark Cobras, along with Brilliant Fusion, and that Invoker, because, you know, there's no better target than Warrior in the deck, because, of course, it has a level manipulation mechanic going on, being able to help us get into our rank 5 Xyz monsters, being Zenmaio and Shark Fortress being very useful for OTK enabling. But yeah, so now that this deck can come back, and don't get me wrong, guys, I really want to see it come back, because it's a deck near to my heart. It's a deck that I have played on and off every now and then. It's just you know, I don't own the cards in real life, rip lol. But yeah, but the main thing I have seen playing this deck online a lot is that it just loses to hand traps, especially Joel Knockbird and Ash Blossom, which is of course why we're playing them in this deck, of course. But that's mainly because, you know, if your opponent activates Joel Knockbird on your factory for the rest of that turn, you might have like 1 or 2 factories up. They're useless. They're -1s, and Ash Blossom just being like really powerful, just negating Wizard's effect, the special from deck, really hurts. Now, that kind of brings you into another argument whether hand traps are good or bad. Of course they're good, because if we didn't have them, then we just see decks go off and make these absurd decks with, like, imagine not having Ash Blossom, Ghost Ogre, Gamma, or Joel Knockbird against Pendulum Magicians. Could you imagine that? Yeah, you don't want to imagine that. But at the moment, yeah, we got to have hand traps. But that's the topic for an entirely different video. But of course, the one and only Max C. Now, there are some negatives about wind-ups. One of them being is that their main searcher of the deck, Factory, being kind of, you know, restrictive, because you have to have a wind-up monster effect to activate, except during the damage step, to be able to get that search for that wind-up monster. Now, Of course, if you guys played Wind Up before, you know it's not hard to activate Wind Up monster effects. Like, you have Warrior being able to target a Wind Up and increase its level by 1. Of course, Shark being one of the best ones, just being able to spam it onto the field when you either normal or special summon a Wind Up monster. By the way, it's not once per turn, guys. Well, its other effect is, but it's not its summon effect. And of course, Rat, but he's kind of restrictive, but yeah. And also, it's not the most consistent deck out there, because of course, Factory, you gotta have something to trigger first to get that search off. Now, of course, that is why we are playing the Brilliant Fusion engine. This is, of course, be able to get to our Invoker, to be able to get out our Warrior if you have like a Shark in hand and just like chain that to summon a Warrior. But yeah, so but at the moment, windups are very good at one thing, and that is spamming the fuck out of Link monsters. Now, either it's just my insane luck of opening up Soul Charge almost every game, but if you do open up with Soul Charge, you're probably ending a board with a Borolo Dragon, a fucking Gaia Saber, a Shark Fortress, a Baguska, or a Utopia Lightning. Which I'm not sure if you noticed, but that's a very very strong board, guys. That's like 2012. That's like almost to 2012 power creep with like Draco second, Big Eyes, like suck shit hard. But yeah. So anyways, this has been a deck discussion video for our windups. Just want to get one thing out of the way. Thank you so much for 20 subscribers. It really means a lot to me, guys. I originally started this channel up as like a fun little hobby to do every now and then, but to see it actually just really grow and like turn into something with 20 people subscribed. But I'm gonna try pump out more content more frequently, like maybe daily uploads, hourly uploads. Yeah, no, I'm not doing hourly uploads, but I'm gonna strive until the end of this year to do daily uploads from now until the end till New Year. But anyways, expect a Paleozoic Frog deck profile coming out soon, along with a Lunalight and Bujin update. I know a lot of you didn't really like the Bujin deck profile that I did most recently because it had a Whiptail in it, and we don't talk about Zodiac. And I gotta say, it wasn't the best deck I ever created.